Hey everyone, it's been a long time. I never got around to making the September recap, so I do need to do that. And then I'm going to jump into the October recap, but that'll be a separate video. So, I lost $65,000 for September. It's my worst month ever of my career and the first red month in around 2 years. So, because I don't really remember a lot from September, because it's been so long, I just want to talk about maybe some of the contributing factors that led to the red month, and then kind of show some examples of different stocks that I lost a lot of money on during September, and just jump into that kind of thing. So a little bit different type of video, but got to make a September recap. I'm not going to skip it just because it's a red month. So first off, I think I started to feel a little bit of burnout as far as, things go really well for so long, and all of a sudden it's kind of like you're showing up doing the same thing and you're getting good results, and it starts to feel less like a game if you're just always winning. And I know it sounds weird, but it was almost just like winning burnout, or winner's tilt, that sort of thing, where you just start to make bad decisions actually because you're winning. So maybe too much winning. That led to me just forgetting what's important, forgetting what led to all of the success. And when your focus shifts and goes into other things, you lose your way, and that's what leads to inconsistent results and big losses. So I think that was a big part of it, just that winner's tilt. And around this time I sized up a lot, and during this whole kind of shaky period I've been actually using the biggest size that I've ever used before. So that in and of itself, that's not a problem, so to speak. It's actually an amazing experience that I think will pay off in a very big way in the future. It's just one of those things. You put in the work, you get the experience. It's really priceless experience. Using the sizes that I'm using, and even though the results aren't coming in the short term, I think the long term it'll be really beneficial. But for now, kind of hurts. So that was a big part of it, just using big size. We had that market shift where things kind of changed or slowed down a bit, and you could still make really great money, but you had to adjust to kind of those new flows and what was working. And I was stubborn in that regard. I didn't adjust in a timely manner. Instead of focusing on what was hot, what I found myself doing is anticipating moves on stocks that just didn't make sense to even watch. Slow stocks that were maybe in bearish trends. And I was trying to play those things where, like, maybe before they would work, they would bounce, they would get hot again with kind of lower volume, and I could make it work. But during that slow period, none of those things were working, and I just kept trying to push it. It just turned into a market where you really needed to focus on what was actually hot, what people were actually trading, and, the best quality. And it was quality over quantity, and I was not doing that. And the final thing I would say is, I think I made a really dumb decision I made kind of a public announcement on Twitter about the video package series, just about how once I got the 2 million in profits, the price would go up. And that's true. That's me trying to be honest, but I think that it was a mistake, I would say, because it added a certain pressure of like, okay, now I'm kind of in a rush to get to 2 million because I want to just get over with and do what I said I was going to do, which is just raise the price and kind of forget about it and whatever. And then on top of that, of course, I got a lot of sales because of that. And so now I want to kind of prove to the people that invested, like, okay, you made the right choice. Because now I can hurry up, get to 2 million, raise the price, and now they're like, okay, yeah, I did buy something from a trader that is killing it, profitable, and I'm glad I jumped on that deal. And it's like, by me not finding that 2 million in a timely manner, in a way, it makes me feel like I let those people down. So, and I know it's just me overthinking stuff. It's not really stuff to even think about, but I overanalyze, and I think I definitely added a lot of pressure to myself when I made that announcement, and I just shouldn't have done it. It made me rush. It made me chase the money, trying to chase the 2 million mark, rather than just show up and make good trades and focus on the trading aspect. So that was bad. Yeah, I think that was probably the tipping point that really led to my recent kind of sporadic emotional behavior and trading. So other than that, gonna go into just some names and explanations. So DBGI, in September, it was just a very bearish stock and a downtrend. And I think because it's a former runner, because it was hot before, you just see a lot of stuff like this where maybe I would try to make trends that I like, and try to play these things to try to anticipate a reversal for a bounce on a former hot stock. But the reality during this kind of slower period is you can't be speculative on slow stocks. It's in a downtrend. It's bearish. It's stuck there. There's no hint or reason as far as watching it for that bounce. It's just anticipating when something is not even hinting at being bullish is a recipe for disaster and a good way to just get really chopped up. So that was pretty much sums up my recent struggle. It's just getting chopped, and over and over, playing stuff that is not going to work. I'm playing, just playing things like DBGI or FBRX. It had a bad PR, huge gap down, and then in September it was just very bearish, and I kept trying to anticipate a bounce when there was never an indication that was appropriate. It was just stuck in a bearish trend. So bearish consolidates for a bit, but then continues that bearish trend. And I kept trying to anticipate things that didn't really make sense. It's almost like I wasn't trading in the reality of things. I was trading in what I wanted, rather than what the facts were suggesting. And that doesn't work. I mean, when you trade, you have to be rooted in reality and rooted in the facts that are presenting themselves. And I just wasn't. All of September, multiple days, many days, I would just buy this and trying to anticipate a reversal from thin air. Like these things they usually give you hints. Or maybe there's like a PR drop or something, and the only filing that this had was that the owner dumped 1 million shares or something, so nothing good, just nothing good. And I kept trying to anticipate that in September. I just lost a bunch of money on it, just getting chopped in and out when I should have been using all of that focus on actual hot stocks. So, it's just focusing on the wrong stocks. AHPI, for example. I know it was very hot in July and August, but then in September it died. And when it had this large sell-off, I was looking and trying to anticipate a bounce. But the reality is, there's just no reason to. It just started a bearish trend. It's stuck in a very bearish trend. And I know this day was good. I think I did play this. I did play this day for some profit. But that's only because it got very, very sold off. But the rest of the days were just choppy and really poor quality. So I think it's just that situation where I get connected to a stock. I keep trying to play it over and over, when the reality is this is old news. Like this is it had its time, but its time has passed, and it's time to ignore it. It's time to pretend it doesn't exist and focus on stocks that are new, that are here, that are now, that are hot, and making those healthy uptrends that we can capitalize on. And over, when I look at the stocks that I lost the most money on, it's big former runners that used to be great to play, and for whatever reason, I just decided to keep going for them and keep playing them, even when volatility dropped off, even when, it's just at a certain point, you just have to ignore stocks that aren't in play anymore. And this is certainly one of them. And all in this area beat me up because I thought it was really nice consolidation, and I thought that because it's so oversold that it would have a really nice bounce. And over, I just found myself getting really beaten up. I know this is October, but same story in September. I thought it was oversold in this area too. So I was just continuously getting really beaten up on stocks that had their time but are over, and they were low volume, low volatility, and just poor quality plays that I tried to turn into something, and I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have messed with them, and it just resulted in a lot of losses. Neuro, same thing. Former runner, washes, has a nice maybe PR or just a bounce, whatever, comes down, and then I'm just trying to anticipate that maybe it'll form something and pop again. And it did kind of pop in this area, but I missed this and then found a way to get chopped on everything else. So just not playing the right things at the right times, kind of forgetting that if you play low volatility, low quality, bearish trends, you're not going to get those good results that you want. It just doesn't really work. So yeah, I think those were pretty much the factors. A little bit too much success led to me getting comfortable, led to me also getting winner's tilt and winner's burnout, which is, I would just, I would say, if you win all the time in a game and you just win, eventually you go, you know what, like, this isn't challenging me and this isn't really that fun. And then you get burnt out on it. That's kind of what happened to me with trading, which is, it sounds strange, but I think it's true, because I struggled for a bit. And then these last 2 weeks, I kind of went back to my basics finally and focused. And actually wanted to play the game again. I was motivated because I had a challenge. I had something to actually work towards again, which is recovering and getting out of this downswing. And that motivated me to show up and actually play the game and actually focus on what I need to focus on to succeed in the game. and step up to the plate and challenge myself. And that was fun. So I kind of found that spark again as far as finding the joy and the fun in trading rather than just showing up because I want to make money, which is good. That's a good thing. And hopefully that spark will last for the next 2 months, for the end of the year. I think it'll be good. So yeah, that's gonna end the video here. It didn't feel right with me to just skip over September. So yeah, glad I made this. Gonna get into October.